This is one of the more interesting cases that I've seen this week. This guy told me that he was hitting himself in the back of the head with a golf club. And I asked him if it was on the follow through, and he said no, it was actually on the takeaway. So I'll show you the interesting position that he put the club in with his right elbow, the way his hands were cocking the club. So longer clubs, he would hit himself, and I think this may have been like a 7-iron or something. We went to a pitching wedge in the when we were trying to make some changes, but I'll show you those changes in a minute. But this is a pretty unusual place to have to play from. This guy, amazingly, was able to touch the golf ball. So tough position to play from, but somehow as he got it back down into impact, he was able to touch the golf ball and hit it relatively straight. He had a considerable amount of slice on it most of the time, but tough to make that golf swing work. So here are some of the changes we made. One of the real difficulties is that he has a real limitation in the movement of the right elbow. He can barely lift his elbow above his shoulder. So we had to cut the swing down considerably. Took a pitching wedge and got him into this position. His right shoulder is really messed up. He's probably going to have some surgery on it. But even though a man has some limitations, I mean, you can get him striking the ball better. So I think this is a much easier place to play from for him. His hand path is much better. Obviously, the club is reaching the line sooner. It was amazing how many solid golf shots he hit. It must have been 30 balls with a pitching wedge at the end of the lesson, and very much in the center of the club. Really good contact. One of the amazing things was that on flight scope, his standard deviation away from the target was only 3 yards. Obviously, he had some distances that were different. You know, he hit one a little shorter and one a little longer. But the pitching wedge was only 3 yards offline, standard deviation. So pretty amazing. He was thrilled to death with the type of solid contact that he was making. It was just ridiculous how well the sound was. But he's looking forward to making some changes in the future.